You can be
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Please join me for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everybody. We'll start with the roll call.
Callahan. Here. Houston.
Here.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Prasada.
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Next, we might need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next, we move to public comment. Dave?
I wanted to make sure she was going to be here. I wanted to introduce you to Kim Mattoon. She is the law enforcement crisis liaison now for all of Buchanan County. She's working integrally with my department as well as the Sheriff's Department, Jessup, and Fairbank. And so I wanted to introduce her and let her give you just a couple-minute rundown of what she is doing with us and how it's been going so far. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you guys. I am here with Foundation 2, partnered with the law enforcement departments. I'm brand new, so I'm doing a lot of training right now. I'm spending a lot of time with the officers, getting out, getting to know the communities that I'll be supporting. I will help with mental health crises, so those crisis calls, that's kind of a given, but I will help with a lot of other things that law enforcement becomes involved in, particularly like domestic violence victims. I will help be just an advocate for many people. I will place referrals to resources. So sometimes law enforcement has some frequent flyers, or different communities have people who they're often in contact with. I'll come in, and then I will also do follow-up. So maybe it's someone who just needs a little extra support. They need to identify a therapist, or maybe they need an inpatient situation. But I will follow them for however long they desire, or if they come back into contact with law enforcement, I will then be assigned back to their case. So where law enforcement comes out in that crisis, I'll go along, but I can check in the next day, next week, all of that. So I'm excited to join you guys.
How's your new
There's-
office?
What?
How's your new office?
Good.
Is your new office in the police station?
It is.
Yep. I will be kind of 50-50 in the sheriff's department and the police station.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Is this a
welcome.
full-time position now?
It is, yes. So I'm here Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. So I respond to calls during that time, and then for calls outside of my service hours, the officers contact me, and then I do follow-up. So even if I don't respond, people can still fall into my caseload.
Excellent.
Can you perform psychological evaluations on certain police staff?
I would love to, but I cannot.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to the proclamation. This is the 150th Library Anniversary Proclamation. Whereas Independence was the first city in Iowa to have a free tax-supported public library in September 1873, and whereas the library is having been established on the second floor of the Wilcox Building located on the south side of Main Street was destroyed by a fire May 1874, and whereas the opening day of the new Independence Free Public Library was June 6, 1895, located at 210 2nd Street Northeast on the second floor of the new building donated by Perry Munson, and whereas a capital campaign for a new library achieved its $3.1 million stretch goal with $2.4 million in private donations and grants in 2007, and whereas groundbreaking was held at 805 First Street East with several hundred in attendance on May 12, 2007, and whereas the community enthusiastically embraced the new library on First Street East with a grand opening on October 12, 2008, and whereas the library has been an asset to the community for 150 years, providing patrons of all ages with valuable information and research, and whereas the library has become a community center with exceptional service and relevant resources, promoting connections that inspire thought and enrich lives, and now, therefore, it be proclaimed that I, Brad Bleichner, Mayor of the City of Independence, do hereby proclaim recognition of the wisdom and foresight of those who have gone before us as we celebrate the statewide milestone of the first library in Iowa to offer 150 years of free library services. I call upon the citizens to join in the sesquicentennial celebration as the library continues to move forward, inspiring lifelong learning and connecting our community. Signed this 25th day of September 2023, and I've now signed that. And if we want to take a moment, we'll have the library people come up and get their picture taken.
Oh, I don't know.
Everybody's. Little people can. Little people in for it. There you go. Thanks, Tom.
All right. I just always remind the council that you'll be in the background, so no absence.
Did you?
Above the fold.
Florida stories about the whole.
Bye. Yeah, always.
Next, we'll move to the...
Our crowd.
No, we were so popular for a minute there.
Wow.
Next, we move to the consent agenda. I need a motion to accept and approve the consent agenda that approves the following: the minutes of the September 11, 2023 regular meeting, the Fairway Stores, Inc., number 479, Class E retail alcohol license effective November 16th, 2023 through November 15th, 2024, the Allerton Brewing Company Class C retail alcohol license with outdoor service effective October 17th, 2023 through October 16th of 2024.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next, we move to the financials. First, I need a motion to approve the claims for payment.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion with regard to the financials? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next, we move to the bank reconciliation, which is for informational only. Is there anybody that has any questions or comments with respect to the bank reconciliation? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to the revenues and expenses to date. Again, this is for information only. Is there anybody that has any questions or any comments with respect to the revenues and expenses? Hearing none, we move to the transfers. Again, this is informational only. Is there anybody that has any questions or any issues with regard to the transfers? I move to item number 11 on the agenda, which is the public hearing on the fiscal 2024 amendment number 1. Pursuant to the agenda, I'll now convene a public hearing for the fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 1. Is there anybody that has any comments with regard to that from the public?
I did not receive anything.
Okay, given that there's no further comments with regard to that, I'll now close the public hearing. The city clerk can note the lack of any comments with respect to that. Next, we move to item number 12. Pursuant to the agenda, I'll now convene a public hearing on the proposed plans, specification, form of contract, and the estimated cost for the baseball, softball complex field turf project.
I didn't receive any comments on this either.
Okay, I'll now close the public hearing, and if there were any comments, they would be recorded for the record. Item number 13, we move to that. This is a motion to approve a resolution to finally affirm the plan specifications, form of contract, and estimate of the cost of the baseball, softball complex field project. First, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion with regard to that? This is the approval of the actual plans themselves, which we have the bids on based upon those plans to talk about in just a few minutes. This would be a roll call vote then.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Versater,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Next, we move to item number 14, which is the bids for the construction of the baseball, softball complex field turf project have been received before September 20, 2023 at City Hall in the city, and has been on the same, and on that same day and at that same time, the office of the city clerk, such bids were opened and read, and this was the time and place set forth for consideration of those bids. Do I need to do anything further with that particular item?
You were going to say the minimum.
Oh, or does that come up with the actual approval of the bid itself, the awarding of the contract?
It can, whichever way you'd like to do it.
Okay, we've got, Crawford Engineering was the one that provided the engineering for that, and they've given us their letter indicating that the bids are proper. $733,368, the high bid being $6,497. So next we move to item number 15, which is I need a motion to approve a resolution awarding the contract for the baseball, softball complex field turf project to Eastern Iowa Excavating and Concrete in the amount of $733,368.30.
So
So-
moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion with regard to the bids or the project?
Isn't that significant? Isn't that over 100,000 less than we estimated?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That's good news.
Yep,
We're
absolutely.
considering
That helps.
potentially adding some additional stuff since
I was
we
gonna
are
say that
so
helps.
low.
I think that'd be a great idea at this point.
Especially we want to take a look at the
These
item
are
quantities and
low
kind
enough
of,
to allow us to do so.
we believe so, but we'll check into that. But that's kind of where we are with it right now.
So can you say what we're looking at?
I could, but we shouldn't get into discussion about it right now.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. That's a roll call vote then.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Versater,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Next, we move to resolutions. Item number 16 on the agenda. I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2023 street finance report resolution authorizing the city clerk treasurer to submit the report to the Iowa DOT and authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Susie, did you have something that in particular on this?
This report is one that's done annually. It just shows how road use money was spent during the year, so.
Any discussion with regard to that issue? Hearing none, this would be a roll call vote then.
Moore,
Yes.
Versater,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item number 17, which is the urban renewal report for the fiscal year 2023. I need a motion to approve a resolution that approves the fiscal year 2023 annual urban renewal report, authorizing the city clerk treasurer to submit the report to the Department of Management by December 1st, 2023, and authorizes the mayor to sign the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Again, this is something that we do annually, as the report's due December 1st, and you're just approving me signing and moving forward with the submission of the report. Any discussion with regard to
Is
this?
this also the agency and the report that takes how much we need?
I don't know.
Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Versater,
Yes.
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Next, we'll move to item 18, which I need a motion to approve a resolution to file the fiscal year 2023 annual financial report and authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution.
So moved. Second?
So again, this is one of our annual reports that we do each year. You've had your city council memorandum, which describes everything there. Roll call.
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan?
Yes.
Houston?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Crusader?
Yes.
Next, we move to item number 9. Next, we move to item 19 on the agenda. This is a motion to approve a resolution to assess property owner for Chapter 52 mowing of properties, failure to comply, and authorizes the mayor to sign the resolution. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. This is for 611 3rd Avenue Northeast, the amount of $208. Discussion with regard to this assessment to the property owner. Hearing none, this would be a roll call vote then.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan?
Yes.
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Crusader?
Yes.
O'Laughlin?
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item 20 on the agenda, which is I need a motion to approve a resolution to request the assistance of the staff at Intercog and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. This is regard to updating the mapping with regard to the TIF districts and having Intercog staff assist us with that mapping itself. So that's the motion. Any discussion? The cost is not to exceed $5,500. Anybody have any further discussion with regard to that? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote.
Callahan?
Yes.
Houston?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Crusader?
Yes.
O'Laughlin?
Yes.
Jensen?
Yes.
Moving to item number 21. I need a motion to approve the attached resolution to approve the agreement with Buchanan County for the bridge inspection and load rating services and authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution and the city manager to sign the contract.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. If you may recall, this is a situation where we had a bid, a little over $10,000. We talked to the county. The county was willing to do this for not to exceed $2,500. And this is the actual contract that we've now prepared between the city and the county with respect to the work.
I'd like to extend thanks from the council to Brian Kierleber, the engineer, and the Bridge Guru, Iowa, and thanks for...
Absolutely. So this would be a roll call vote then.
Houston?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Crusader?
Yes.
O'Laughlin?
Yes.
Jensen?
Yes.
Callahan?
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item number 22, which is a motion to approve the resolution to endorse the Enterprise Drive Trail Phase 2 project for the federal Recreation Trails Program requirements and authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution. First, I need the motion and a
So
second.
moved.
Second.
We did one of these in one of the last couple meetings, which was the state grant that we had applied for. We now need one from the federal. We're also applying every place we can get to try to get grant money. So this is a situation where the city is indicating by way of the resolution that if there's our shares of certain monies that are responsible for the grants and the trail projects, that we want to be, we'll be responsible for that, basically.
Just for public interest, where would this go from the Casey's Drive through the front of Walmart and over to 6th Avenue Southwest?
That's a portion of it, yeah. It would then turn north along the west side up until it
Oh, I
gets
see. And then-
just south
so
of
it
that
meets
that existing residential area that's on the east side, and then it'd cross back over there to the sidewalk that's on the east side.
Sure.
But yeah, that's
So it
the
kinda
idea.
connects all
That's the
that.
idea, is to create another loop, finish that loop
Great.
out.
Are we looking at doing that next year?
Depends on when we can get grant money, but yeah, as soon as we can get the grant money put aside and get it programmed.
This is also part of the community visioning grant as well. It's also the same trail that we're looking at for that.
Can we use any of our existing tax base? Can't you use a component of that?
There's multiple different funding sources, but we would need to discuss that at another time.
Any further discussion with that? Then I need a roll call vote, please.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Pursader.
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Move to item number 23. I need a motion to approve a resolution setting a public hearing on October 9, 2023 at 5 p.m. regarding the signage ordinance amendments and authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution and the city clerk to send public hearing notice to the 2 official newspapers.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. As you may recall, from quite some time ago, we've been talking about amending our ordinances with respect to signage. This is the public hearing on that issue. We've had this through our Planning and Zoning Committee for quite a while now, and they're just in the final stages. They're far enough along with it at this point where we can actually set the resolution, set the public hearing, and this is just a motion to set that public hearing. So I need a roll call vote on that.
Moore.
Yes.
Pursader.
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item number 24, which is a motion to approve the resolution to accept the work covering the 2023 street rehabilitation project and authorizing the mayor to sign the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. This is with regard to the construction itself. It's not, the administrative items are still pending because we handle those as the time passes. So this is we're just moving to accept the work itself, which my understanding that Crawford and Company has approved that work already.
Correct.
Mark?
Correct. Yep. Yeah, this is the resolution that would approve that work and start the clock on the 30 days to release the retainage that's been retained on the project.
Okay.
Fifth Avenue's amazing. Haven't seen it that good for, never seen it that good.
Good. Good to hear.
Okay. Any further discussion with regard to this? That's a roll call vote then?
Pursader.
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Callahan.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Next is item number 25, which is a motion that authorizes the installation of a no parking area on Bland Boulevard North along the east side of 6th Avenue Southwest to the private entrance of 1020 6th Avenue Southwest. Start with the motion.
So moved.
Second.
The motion and a second. We discussed this during the work session, and what we're talking about doing is where the stop sign is on 6th Avenue, we would be extending the yellow line up to the driveway, the first driveway on the east side. And the hope was that that would give us better clearance. We're worried about cars that are stopping at the stop sign and then starting to proceed down 6th Avenue where it intersects with Bland. And
You'll get her.
I'll get it sooner or later there. And the problem is that because of the hill there, if the trucks are parked there, it's sometimes the visibility issue, and that's the reason why this was brought forward. So discussion with regard to that.
I wholeheartedly agree. Having lived down there and driving that 2-3 times a day, it can be pretty dicey getting past the trucks that are parked there and oncoming cars going down 6th.
Has there been any discussion about on the west side, north of the intersection with Bland, about no parking?
It's already.
There's already no parking.
It's already no parking.
On the west side?
No parking at home.
The entire west side of 6th Avenue.
Oh, is there signage?
Mhm.
Ah,
Signage along
okay.
there.
Because I was looking pretty yellow.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
keeping you on your toes.
okay. I got to look
In the air, Tom.
little. What's that?
Look up in the air for the sign.
Further
The
discussion.
the only question I have, is that going to give us enough clear distance, or do we need to extend beyond that private driveway a little bit?
Well, we looked at that. We've discussed that, obviously. We looked about whether we would go past that driveway or not. By the time you get to the driveway, you're 3 houses down and the road's leveled out a little bit more. And I think we're okay at that point. At least that's the discussion that we've had. We can certainly consider something more if that's not enough. But preliminarily, I think the idea is to just mark the portion from near the, right now it just goes to the fire hydrant itself from the stop sign. We'll do the portion from the stop sign all the way to the start of the driveway. And then if that doesn't work, and we still think it's an issue.
Extend it later.
Have the
Correct.
property owners been notified about that?
We have not talked to the property owners around there. I would say, though, that this adds about 80 to 90 feet onto the existing area that's there.
It's just such an awkward corner because of the angles and the two-way and, yeah.
It's one of the most heavily traveled areas.
It's just a very awkward corner to be safe on. I mean, we can start with this, but it might come to need more.
And my understanding is that we have a lot of students that are using Sixth Avenue going to and from school, so the more safer we can make it, the better off we are.
It's just, not everybody notices right away that the way the stop sign is on. The awkward corner, especially in
Further discussion, we'll move to a roll call vote then.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan. Yes. Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Persada.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item number 26 on the agenda, which is a motion to approve a request from Steve Ohl to remove and replace a small house at 814 Fifth Avenue Northeast.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Your memorandum discusses this a little bit, but Matt, do you want to explain why this is necessary?
I mean, it's a request from Steve Ohl, who is under contract to purchase the home. You know, the current property, I don't think is in very good state of repair, and this is the way that Steve wanted to address it, was to remove it and replace it. The current dwelling is about 18 feet by 36 feet per the county's website. The new proposed one would be 24 by 32, so it's actually narrower than the house that currently exists on the lot by, you know, what is that, 6 feet? And then just a little bit deeper than the house that's on the lot right now. So, and the new one will have a full basement under it too. I don't know if the existing house has a full basement or not.
Will the pole building stay?
I was just looking, there's a pole building and a house.
The building behind there, the structure behind there, as far as I know, he doesn't have any intentions of removing that.
That's classified, they're calling that a detached garage. Further discussion with regard to this issue? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Jensen,
Yes.
Callahan. Yes. Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Persada,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Okay, and that completes the
With that real
items.
quick, do we have an ordinance in town that says the house can't be smaller than the garage? I mean, that's going to be.
Look at the picture.
Square footage wise, it'll be as big as or bigger than the existing structure that's there, the accessory structure.
But this pole building's like 2 stories high.
We'd need to look through the zoning code about that. I don't know the answer to that question off the top of my head.
I don't open a can of worms that we gotta start allowing things like we don't want.
Let's move to,
That's it.
let's move to reports then. Catherine, do you have something?
Yes, I do. The visioning committee, this is in regards to the visioning committee. We are going to be on Friday, September 29th from 5 to 7. We're going to be at the football game starting at 4:15 is the time on here. We've been asked to sit up behind the home bleachers. We'll get the most traffic in this area and the biggest area for the setup, and this is where we're going to have the big pictures.
We start at 5 o'clock.
It says 4:15 on here.
I think the
setup.
That's
I
the
think
setup
that's
time.
set up, and I think the JV game may start
Okay.
around then as well.
JV starts at 5.
She just printed the email with all the info, and I do know they wanted us to be there a little early for the setup.
Right.
But I thought it was 4:30, so with the game starting at 5, yeah, any of those.
So we got council that's gonna be sitting out there, do we?
There'll be council members, and there'll be the people from the visioning will be there as my
Right,
understanding.
the committee itself,
Right. The steering committee.
steering committee.
Yes.
Anything else, Catherine?
That's all I have regarding that.
Any other council members have any issues that they'd like to discuss? Shout-outs, anything about anything, calendar dates, anything else? Nothing on this side, over here on your side, Mike?
Sounded like our downtown chocolate And Wine Walk was successful?
Yes, it sure seemed to be. I was actually helping in the Gedney because they were out of the country. So, and the baker made 400 cookies.
Oh, wow.
And 350 of them were given away, and we were only giving out one per person. So that doesn't mean that some people didn't get two, but
Right.
we were giving out one per person, which means we had a very good turnout, especially in there. Lots of people wanted to see the construction and what was going on with the status of construction, too. So that may have had more than some other locations. But
What is the status of the bakery?
It's me, sorry.
The inside drywalling is up. They've started working on electrical. I think the permitting was being done this last week in terms of all the electrical and all the plumbing and all the other things. The expectation is that they probably will not get to open before the end of the year, although they're still shooting for it. I think the realistic projected time would be sometime in very early January. And then they've got units up above that are under construction too, and they're in the process of being drywalled as well.
How many units will be up there, Brad?
I believe that there is one unit that the baker is going to be living in, and then I believe that there's 2 other units, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, they're moving along with that construction. They just took the drywall upstairs this last drywall. They will be doing drywall. Tom, you have something else?
Yeah, I was just wanting to shout out or kudos to the street department and Parks and Rec for the work that they did on the Liberty Trail. They really helped clean up a lot of the places there, and especially the MHI spur. They made that more level to walk on, so that should be better.
Good.
Any updates on the new businesses?
In terms of what specifically?
The old Papa Top and Pizza Hut.
The old Papa Top, that's still under, I mean, the last time that owner was at the council, he was asking the council to give additional property to him, and I've conveyed to him that in order to do that, he needs to submit a drawing showing what he wants. I've yet to see anything. So as far as I know, that one's kind of over right now. The other one you talked about was, I understand we're going to. That's it.
Their goal's 15 is the goal. It just depends on all the permits coming through. And in regards to that, on new businesses, Walgreens, Hardy Drugs is shooting for the 9th.
The 9th of October?
Yes.
And I also noticed that, you guys probably have already seen this, but it looks like that H&R Block is on the street across from where Crawford is. I hadn't realized that they'd gone in there. I didn't realize. And I'm not sure, it looks like there may be some other units that are available there because I don't think they're taking up that whole block.
What's the status of Blue Buffalo?
We'll have an update for you at the 9th, the October 9th meeting.
With the Pop Top taking those trees out, and I suppose DNR's been involved with that, but it seems like if they start taking them much of them trees out, we're gonna have a
With regard to one other item is the child care task force, which is the business owners in town that deal with the child care issue. We had gotten a grant for the rural child care market analysis. We've got 3 different surveys. Surveys will go out as of October 1st. Survey time period is October 1st. Survey number 1 is on businesses themselves, where they'll get the information from their employees to provide survey information in terms of the need for child care. The second grouping is the parents of the children themselves that would be involved, and those will be filled out. There are QR codes and other things to be able to get into the system to do that. The third group is the child care providers, not only the licensed ones, but also the other group of ones that are some of them registered, some are licensed. And the idea is to get all of them in town. The capacity is that this allows us. I think the timeline is by December 15th. They'll be reporting regarding what they feel our actual need is for the number of slots for childcare in the city itself. And then we'll move forward once we have that, and once the council has gotten the information, we'll move forward with some other information regarding, the whole idea here is that we want to find out what our need is so that when it comes time to apply for the grants for the construction itself, we'll be in a better position than other people because we can say what our actual need is instead of just guessing at something. So we're moving forward with all of that. Matt, did you have something?
I do. We've been talking with the guy who provided the panel for us for the room, and he's planning to come on the 6th of October to redo the wiring in the room, to try to fix some of the staticky issues that we've had, especially issues with, it seems like after the room's on. We think that's related to some bad solder joints. So have him come in and do some work on that. We've had some issues with the wall that's next to Bremer Park along the east side of the Wapsie River there. The wall's deteriorating. Come in and track monitoring setups on it so we can see if it's moving, see what's going on with the wall. With that in mind, though, I'm going to go ahead and put an RFQ out, as long as nobody has an issue with that anyway, a request for qualifications out for engineering services for that. Try to start getting some pricing together on what it's going to cost to have a solution engineered. Obviously, the construction piece, we think we can get grants for that. The engineering side, typically, the city's got to go along on the grant. It just depends on what we can find when we get to that point. But we're not in a state yet where we feel like we have to block off the area below it because of things falling or anything like that. But it's, if you get a chance and you want to take a little bit of a hike, walk down there and take a look at it. It's in pretty bad shape. You're looking at it from the riverside. There's some storm sewer up along the road itself that's being impacted by that too. So we want to take care of what we have and get it fixed. The only other two things I've got, the Blackhawk Gaming Gala is Thursday evening. I'll be attending that at their request. We believe that we've got an award for a $25,000 grant from that for the turf project. Excellent. So hopefully that will be officially announced. That's where we think we are with that. And then the only other thing is just a reminder that I'm out of town for the ICMA National Conference from the 30th, which is Saturday, through the 5th, which is Thursday. I'll have email, text, phone, whatever you guys, if there's anything that I need to be reached on, I'll definitely be available and working. So.
Could you update us on the meeting that's tomorrow, I believe, on the gravel road turf?
Recycling.
Yeah.
Frost boils.
Yeah, so I sent that out to everybody. That's tomorrow morning at 9:30 at River's Edge.
Is it 9:30 or 9?
Or 9, sorry, 9. 9 o'clock, thank you. I said that because there was some confusion between Brian and I, because originally I think I had it on there as 9, and then he sent me something saying it had moved half an hour, and no, it's not. It's back, anyway. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's just a presentation that's put on through, I think it was Iowa State, that's involved with that, and Brian, about frost boils on gravel roads and such. It's an opportunity for the council to go out there and gain some information if you'd like to go. I think so far I've only had one of you guys respond, so we haven't noticed it. So if there's going to be a bunch of others out there. This is about frost boils related to gravel roads.
We start meeting at River's Edge at 9.
Right.
Does this have anything to do with the plastic?
There's an agenda on that.
I'd love to go, but I don't think I can get out to go.
So
Maybe somebody that goes could report back.
I have limited information on this, but my understanding, talking to Brian Kiley was they have this idea that they can use recycled plastics for the road itself, and it'll last longer than what the existing roads are. And that's the people from the college that you mentioned.
Iowa State. I think.
Iowa State. One of the people I'm working with on that, and so I think they want to present to as many people as possible the information why this is a better way of doing it than the way that we've been doing it for years. My understanding is that there are a lot of other areas that are actually using this successfully, especially using it on biowaste. That's part of it, but I don't know
Or
about
is
the
it
shred.
plastics only?
I don't know the answer to
I
that.
think it's plastics only, but I'm not 100% sure. But anybody that has any interest in this, that would be a good time to
We
hear.
just walk, I mean, can we,
Yeah,
The only concern would be that there'd be a
Right, we haven't noticed it, so
9 o'clock tomorrow morning, River's Edge? I'll be there.
any other, Suzie? Nothing? Did I need a motion to adjourn the meeting?
so move?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 7.